Hello, welcome back to Shut Up and Watch the Movie, your favorite movie podcast. I didn't make the rules. I'm your host, Tyson.
And I'm Christina.
And this is a podcast where we make each other watch a movie. Other person may like it, may not. But we're going to have some fun talking about it anyway. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
I actually forgot how we were supposed to open up the podcast. Like
That's exactly how we open it.
How do we go into like a conversation usually, or?
Are you asking how we make the podcast?
Wait,
I know we're relatively new to this, but we're on what, episode 15 at this point?
I think episode 15.
I feel like we kind of have it figured out.
Oh yeah, we do a little segment to warm us up a little bit. Oh yes, this week we watched Inception, my pick.
Great movie. I'm hyped up about this.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fun time talking about it. I needed some goodwill after the past two movies I've picked for this podcast.
Get me back on your side a little bit.
Yeah, get the goodwill of the audience. As I say, my episodes historically do worse than your episodes.
Well, pick better movies, like Inception.
And I did. But before we do that, we do a little segment called the Tiny Little Movie Corner, where we talk about a movie we just watched in the past week. Maybe give a recommendation or two.
Yeah.
So what did you watch?
I was inspired by Sabrina Carpenter, and so I watched Juno, which, similar to Inception, a movie that I have seen before, but, like, only once in, like, high school. I remember liking it, didn't really remember much of it.
Yeah, I've seen Juno.
It's a good movie. It's great. I feel like I forgot it's a really good cast, and they all give really good performances.
It's Jason Reitman.
Yes, it is Jason Reitman who's doing the SNL movie.
Night, yeah.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started on that. I'm so excited for that. But
I'm sure.
Yeah, good movie. It's like charming, it's like playful. It is like quite 2000s, but I feel like it's in a way that feels nostalgic and not cringy.
What's it about for people who don't know Juno?
Right, that's a good point. It's about a teenage girl, and she gets pregnant.
Yes, that is pretty much the movie.
Pretty much the plot.
I like it. Diablo Cody, when she writes...
Oh, did she write that?
Yeah, she did write that. I like Jennifer's Body. Yeah. But, I don't know, sometimes her humor, and I don't know, not always my thing all the time.
I will say, some of the jokes didn't age well, not in the sense that they're, like, in poor taste or anything. Like, it's not like that, but it's just, like...
The style of comedy.
I think it felt... There are moments where it feels 2000s and not like it would work today. But
well, that's fun because that's like a time capsule of the era.
It is. I think it works in that sense, and I don't think it necessarily like detracts from the movie. It just is like a product of its time. But yeah, like I said, still because you got young Elliot Page, Michael Cera. Love Michael Cera.
Yeah.
I'm a big Michael Cera fan. Jason Bateman plays a creep. He does a good job. Jennifer Garner's great. J.K. Simmons. Also, like I feel like it was just more stacked than I remembered it being. I was like, oh my god, like these are all great actors, and they all give great performances. But yeah,
cool.
It's a fun movie. Got some good soundtrack too for that one.
What's good about it? I don't remember the soundtrack.
It's just good. It's like
good?
kind of like
Okay.
indie music. There's like a few older
indie
songs
music.
in there too.
Indie music.
It's a 2000s indie film, you know?
I'm sure.
It's a little quirky.
Speaking of sound, that gets into my pick.
Oh.
I watched a documentary.
Whoa.
We got a little educational.
Non-fiction.
I watched Making Waves, The Art of Cinematic Sound.
I think I had to watch that for a class.
Well, yeah, I never had to watch it, but I met up with somebody, and they were like, yeah, we had to watch this for a class, and I was like, okay, I guess everybody's watching this, so I watched it. A lot of directors in that. They got some, like, Christopher Nolan appears, talks for a little bit.
Is it the one that Keanu Reeves is like...
No.
Oh.
I don't think Keanu Reeves is in it.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different one then. I really do feel like I watched at least part. I think I didn't watch it, like, the whole movie for a class, but it was, like, in a class one day. Our teacher just put it on.
Yeah, it's about how they record sounds for movies and, like, the importance of sound in movies.
Dude, sound is insane. Like, sound is, like, one of the most underappreciated positions you can be in, and it's so hard, and
we say as we talk on this audio format. Yeah.
That's so true. I was never good with sound stuff, and I give huge kudos to sound people, because it's crazy how much work goes into that. I get stuck with the sound stuff a lot of the time, because no one wants to do it. Because it's physically taxing. It's physically taxing. And it's hard. It's hard to get good sound, and it's really obvious if you don't have it. It's one of those things where, like, if it's done well, it just, like, fits so seamlessly that you don't even really notice it. And you really only notice it if it's bad.
Prioritize good sound over picture any day, is what I say.
Ooh, that's a bold statement.
I don't think that's a bold statement. I think that's a pretty unified... I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know either, but wow.
Yeah.
Look at you getting educated.
I know. I wanted to stay, constantly furthering my education, even though I've graduated. Who says learning has to stop once you're not in school anymore?
Never stops.
Learning is a daily activity.
Learning is just part of life. I will say, sorry, not to go back to my thing, but did you know what I meant when I said Sabrina Carpenter inspired me to watch Juno?
No, but you moved past it, so I moved past it. Was she referenced it in a song?
She has a song called Juno that's referencing the movie, and it's a really good song.
Great. Cool.
Everyone go listen to the album. It's a good album, great song.
Sabrina Carpenter has been at it for like a while.
At it? Like working?
Yeah, making music.
Yeah. I mean, she went from Disney Channel. And
I know that. But I mean, like, I know she was making... I shouldn't say this. But I had a thought once that I was like, Sabrina Carpenter, I kept seeing she make music, but I saw no one talk about it. So I was like, oh, she's never going to make it. I had that thought.
Wow, and now, she proved you wrong.
And now, because I was like, she keeps making music. I thought
she's doing great.
Her new album's great.
The song Juno is probably my favorite song on the album.
Songs I've heard are good.
I was like, I haven't seen that movie in a really long time. I kind of want to watch it.
I guess let's get into it.
Just wanted a reason to plug Sabrina Carpenter real quick.
Okay, fair enough. Plug our own work, which is this podcast. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we can't really plug the podcast on the podcast.
I mean, people are already listening to it.
Exactly. They're here. They know us. Okay, Inception. So
let's get into it.
I made you watch Inception. Yes. A little background. Written and directed by Christopher Nolan.
What a guy.
Made this off the back of The Dark Knight, where I guess he got privileged to do anything he wanted.
This is going to be shocking news. I'm a really big Christopher Nolan fan. Yeah. I have not watched any of the Dark Knight movies.
What do you mean?
I haven't watched the Batman
What do you mean?
trilogy. I know, it's really shocking whenever I tell people that. It's just one of those things.
Why haven't you?
Like, I want to, because I think I really like it, but like I never watched it when I was younger, and then I feel like I want to find the time to watch all three of them. Maybe not like in one sitting necessarily, but like close proximity to one another. And I just need to go ahead and watch it because I'm never gonna find the time.
You gotta make the time. We chipped away through the 2.5 hour long Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Actually, no, you did, and I was like,
no, yeah, I know you were
sat through some of it.
Yeah, I know you're always doing stuff, but if you're a true lover of cinema, you make time.
No, I need to and I want to. But other than that, I've seen almost all of his other films. I think the only other one I haven't seen is The Prestige.
I think the only one I have not seen is Dunkirk.
Oh, you haven't seen Dunkirk?
I think I've seen them all. I've even seen
it's
like
good.
his
You know why I watched Dunkirk
his
though?
First movie. What?
It came out when I was in high school and Harry Styles was in it.
Of course.
Now I would watch it because I really like Christopher Nolan I appreciate his films and I think it's a good movie. But I was like, Harry Styles.
Does he still want to be an actor? Because he hasn't been in anything in the past like year or two.
Quiet recently.
Yeah, I know. He like kind of.
I think maybe he's been working on an album. Maybe, fingers crossed.
I don't really have.
Listen. I still love Harry Styles. And I want him to stick to music. I say that with love.
Yeah.
Stick to the music, Harry. I saw him in concert once. Yeah.
Cool. A lot of music talk on this podcast. Not enough talk about dreams.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just feeling musically inspired today. Anyway.
So the movie is about, if you don't know what Inception is about. It's about people who go into dreams to try to either steal information, or in this case, they're trying to plant an idea in somebody's head so that
Inception.
Yeah, so they can get somebody to do something.
That's a really boiled down.
I mean, I'm just trying to give the basic.
Just like the one sentence. Because the thing with this movie is like...
like with all Christopher Nolan stuff, it's like overlapping timelines. And,
yeah.
Well, it's not really even overlapping timelines in this. It's because when you go into dream, time moves differently than when you're out of the dream. So, like... There's multiple dreams going on at once.
Christopher Nolan loves to mess with time.
Yeah, he does. No, this is
that's like his one, I feel like, thing.
It's like his hyperfixation, yeah.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Throughout all his films.
Exactly,
they all kind of mess with time in some way or something. Even Dunkirk, a historical film.
Doesn't Dunkirk, it like not real, like, why did he do it in that one?
I haven't seen it since I watched it in high school. I thought it was good. What do you mean, why did he do it?
I'm asking why did he do the multiple timelines in that? Because it's like, apparently it's like 3 different events happening. Yeah, 3 different historical events.
I don't remember exactly what the time difference is in that, but basically there's like 3 different storylines. One is like an hour before. One is like 4 days before. And one is, I don't remember how far back. Mm-hmm. But that's how he kind of plays with time in that one. Is like it shows like all these events, and like when you watch it, they're like it's going back and forth between all of them, so it seems like they're all happening at the same time, but like they're all. But I guess it's kind of nice to see how like in one timeline, like more time is passing, but by the end they all get to the same point.
I'm gonna be so honest, my eyes have glazed over. I stopped listening.
It's fine. You know what? I think it'd just be better to watch that instead of trying.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be like trying to explain a Christopher Nolan movie.
Well, that's
you're all about to sit through.
That's a great omen for this podcast. Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
Trying to explain a Christopher Nolan movie because he likes to invest time. He likes like complicated interweaving.
I feel like this one is pretty straightforward for the most part.
I don't think it's complicated, but I do think it's the type of movie where like if you can't sit and be off your phone for 2 hours, you need to be able to like sit and pay attention and watch it to understand what's going on.
I think when we go,
and I think the payoff is worth it. I think to get to the end of the movie and like understand how it ends and like get what's going on, it's such a good feeling.
It was exciting.
Unlike Tenet, but anyway.
Yeah, Tenet is kind of like him trying to do this again.
And it just did not work as well.
He was like, okay, instead of going into dreams, how about we reverse time?
Yeah. My complaint with that one, though, is like, it's like this one where like you have to sit and you have to pay attention, you have to watch it. But by the end of it, you still are kind of confused.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't.
Versus this one, I feel like closes all the plot. Like, it's very clear what's going on. But that being said, should we like get into it?
Before I get into it, which is why I'm kind of surprised he's the sole screenwriter on this, because usually he has his brother help him out, Jonathan Nolan. So I didn't know if he loved writing as much as he liked directing, but I guess he does it. That's all. But yeah, I guess let's get into it. Here, I think
this is another movie, Stacked Cast.
Oh yeah, Stacked Cast. I think when we go through the plot of this movie, we should just follow Leonardo DiCaprio's character. I think that's
what makes the most sense.
Yeah, yes. And I don't think,
especially I think that's kind of what the movie does.
I know, yeah, but like when we get to the dream stuff at the end, let's not keep jumping up. Let's only jump up when he goes back up. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Let's not like keep jumping
around.
We'll
explain what jumping up is.
Yeah, jumping up into a higher dream.
I was trying to show Tyson before this, but apparently it doesn't work anymore. But it used to be if you asked your phone and you said, "Hey Siri, what's Inception about?" It would go, "It's a movie about dreaming, about dreaming, about dreaming, about dreaming, about dreaming." It wasn't for me. And I thought that was funny, but now AI's ruined everything. I won't say that anymore.
Wow, this movie made $839 million. It's pretty good.
I mean, like you said, it's off the tail end of Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, Dark Knight. Well, Dark Knight, the middle one.
Oh, the middle one?
He did a movie in between each Batman movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He did the Prestige in between Batman Begins, and then he did this between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. All right, let's just get into it. Okay. We've said that like 8 times.
So, do we have to call them by their names? Can we just...
We always just call them by their actor names.
Yeah, so Leonardo DiCaprio's there.
Leonardo DiCaprio and...
Okay, let's get this out of the way real quick. We mentioned Stacked Cast. They're also good-looking cast, okay?
Yeah, great haircuts.
This is not necessarily Leonardo DiCaprio in his prime, but it's not, respectfully, it's not him now either. Like, he looks good in this movie. I was like, oh... Okay, yeah, he looks nice. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I'm like, yeah, he looks good.
Great.
Tom Hardy shows up later. I mean, Tom Hardy's Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's still
They
hot.
all look great, and they all have great haircuts, and I wish I could have a haircut like
Everyone in this movie looks great. There was just so many times where I was like, yeah, they look good. Good for them. Not even like smoking hot or anything. Just like, they look good. They look nice.
They look great. But it's him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and we open up, and what are they trying? They're just trying to like grab some information from...
A dream.
Who's this guy's name? Is this
Sato?
Yeah, this is Ken Watanabe, I believe.
I actually don't know the actor for this.
Okay, well we can just call him Sato then.
Sato.
So they're trying to get money or information about money, or like what are they? I don't even corporate think information.
It's not clear, and I don't think it's meant to be. Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter.
They're trying to get information out of a dream.
So they're in a dream.
They're in a dream.
And they wake up, so he's like, all right. Wait, okay, actually, I am kind of confused already. Why does he immediately, like, let them go, and he's like, okay, just do this job for me? Is that the exchange?
Well, okay, first of all, they're in a dream, and then they wake up.
Yeah, yes.
But then it turns out they're in another dream.
Oh.
Remember?
No,
because they're in...
don't remember.
Oh, boy, we're off to a strong start. Okay, so they're in a dream at, like, this, like, big... ball party type thing. Yeah. I don't know, like some cocktail party. And then I don't remember what exactly, but something wakes them up, and then they wake up and they're like in this like dingy apartment. And there's like all these,
yes, I do remember.
There's some protest or something happening outside. It's like pretty unclear. It doesn't really matter. And then they wake up again and they're like in a train.
Yes, I remember.
Oh boy. We haven't even gotten into the complicated stuff yet.
Yeah, but they still
Anyway, what was your question?
Yeah, but they still stole information from him, so why does he let them go when he wakes up?
He explains that it was like a test. In the top
test?
layer dream, he explains like, oh, you failed my test, you didn't get the information or whatever. And then he realizes
he's testing them.
He doesn't know that that's also a dream.
Okay,
so then he realizes and he's like, oh,
I thought they were genuinely stealing
pretty
information
good.
From him.
They're pretty good.
This is the one thing I didn't either missed or didn't get, but I'm with it the rest of the movie.
Okay.
So he offers them like a job to incept the idea into like this young billionaire whose father is about to die.
Yeah, I think
it's like
his
corporate
rival, essentially.
And he's like, so
played by, oh my god, Cillian Murphy. How was I saying everybody looks good? Cillian Murphy
looks great.
Looks fantastic.
Great haircut in this one too.
Oh, good looking guy.
Just love the haircuts in this movie.
Yeah, he looks great. He just looks good.
Specifically his haircut. I think his haircut's really good. You know, it's got like
his haircut is good.
Long on top, short on the
side.
He
looks so young in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a pretty. I mean, he probably wasn't super old. Also, 14 years ago. So yeah. Of course he's gonna look a little older.
Yeah. Anyway, Cillian Murphy's not even totally relevant right now.
So he's like, go into Cillian Murphy's dream and give him the idea if you can do this, because Inception is like a thing that is hypothetically impossible. But so is fucking going into a dream within a dream. So I don't like. That's not so far-fetched.
Yeah, where do we draw the line here about what's impossible?
And they said it's at the idea that he wants to break up his company because his father's dying, who's the CEO. And I guess he'll become CEO
because he'll
after.
be like the heir, most likely.
Have you ever had like a dream within a dream? Because I have. Well, I'm not joking. I'm not lying.
What if someone was trying to incept something in your
Nothing.
brain?
No, I just had a dream where I kept waking up and like then I kept waking up. It was like a terrible cycle.
I haven't had a dream within a dream, but I have lucid dreamed before.
You've lucid dreamed before? Whoa! Tell me about this.
In like,
I've wanted to lucid dream so fucking bad.
I think in middle school, I got like really obsessed with the idea of like lucid dreaming, and so like I looked up online. Like I was like, I had to like train myself.
Yeah, I know all the strats.
But I got to a point where I could do it.
Oh my god!
And I think I did it for like a little while, and then I kind of like. But usually what would happen with lucid dreaming is that I would start lucid dreaming and I'd fly and, do all the
fun stuff.
All the fun stuff. And then even though like I was lucid dreaming, I would forget that I was lucid dreaming and that I actually would just turn into a dream.
Turn to a dream.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But that was
constantly remind
yourself. That was the thing that happened.
That's crazy. Do you get good rest even?
I think so. I don't think it caused any problems.
I feel like
it was like a thing that I did. I don't know. I don't want to be like, I didn't do it all the time. I did it several times in middle school.
I think that's so cool.
Thank you.
I'm gonna like try to
do it online. There are like methods.
No, I know.
The only one that I remember is like you're supposed to almost kind of like them, how they have like a token or whatever.
Yeah.
Is like not necessarily a token, but like you should have like some like in your like it was called like checks where like you like flip over your hands or something.
Yeah,
and like
your hands
it reminds you like you're real or like you're in real life.
Much like AI, dreams cannot figure out hands. It's like a big thing.
Yeah. So if you do a hand check enough in real life, then it'll transfer over your dream and you'll realize, wait, I'm in a dream.
I wanted to lucid dream so bad that like I saw an ad for like a thing that was supposed to, when you set a timer, it's supposed to shine like a little light into your eye. And then in the dream, when you saw the light, you were like, oh, I'm dreaming. Here's the thing though. I don't think, one, I would pick it up in my dream, or two, if I saw it in my dream, I don't know why it would make me think I'm dreaming.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because your brain wants to
resist. I will say the other thing is I know a big problem I had is a lot of times I would start to lucid dream and then I'd wake up because I'd get like so excited in my dream. And then
exactly. Yeah. You're like, you're because I feel like you're taking your brain out of rest mode and you're going into conscious mode even though you're asleep. Yeah. Anyway, I almost bought that, but then I was like, I can't buy that. I can't buy that. Yeah, no, so
that'd be crazy. You know what the closest thing to like lucid dreaming now is? When people say they're shifting, I'm like, you're lucid dreaming. Stop that.
They're not even lucid dreaming, though. Shifting is when you like literally close your eyes and just imagine something. You're just imagining something. Yeah, we can all imagine things.
I don't even know if we want to like open that box right now.
Well, shifting. Yeah, let me make a sequel to this Shiftception.
Oh my god, yeah, shifting it's something else.
Imagine if that was real, though. Who am I to say? Maybe, fuck me, maybe it is.
I think that they're just lucid dreaming.
TikTok people just like make stuff up.
Dude,
and they're also just kids, so they might believe their bullshit.
Like I was on when that became like a really big thing. Like I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so like I was on Harry Potter TikTok and I just kept seeing
shift
no
into Harry Potter.
You know what? I tried once, and then as I was like trying to like listen to the thing or whatever, I was like, what am I doing? I was like, what am I doing? This is so stupid.
Sometimes I would like watch like self-hypnosis videos and then they wouldn't work and I'd be like, what am I like?
Yeah, no, it was kind of like that where it was like you're supposed to like lay down and like listen to like subliminals and like say words to yourself and like count yourself down as you fall asleep. Like
it's like hypnosis.
It was honestly too complicated. Like I was like, how am I supposed to like count my breathing and say the right words and listen to the subliminal? I was like, this is too many things going on. But I think I tried it one time and I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I was like, this is embarrassing. I should not be doing this.
Our brains work too well. Okay, let's get back into the movie and
actual dreaming.
And they're trying to break up this guy's company, Cillian Murphy's, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like, impossible, can't be done. But Leonardo DiCaprio's thinking, yeah, I could do it. And he's like, and Saito's like, hey, if you do this, I'll give you a call so you can go back into Los Angeles and see your kids.
Was it Los Angeles?
It was Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
That's where they land their plane. So
okay, sure. I think it was more important see your kids.
Yeah. That was the second part of the sentence if you listened to me.
I was so stuck on Los Angeles. I was like, imagine like all you want in the world is to get to Los Angeles. Like
no one wants that.
No one wants that.
Do a lot of yapping, not a lot of listening on this podcast.
Whoa, you have your moments.
I do have my moments. Just like earlier, right? Like literally earlier, I stopped listening to what you were saying.
Yeah, you said my eyes glazed over.
Which doesn't make any sense when you're listening, so I don't know why I said that. So yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio's like, okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Leonardo DiCaprio wants to see his kids again.
But he needs to get a team together. And you know, what I think about, what's great about this movie is, I mean, Christopher Nolan's a genre filmmaker like everybody else. He's taken the framework of an existing subgenre, and he's just shifting it around a little bit. This movie, you got the heist movie.
It's kind of a heist movie.
It is a heist movie.
About it.
Which, I mean, the heist is that they're just trying to put something in versus take something out.
And it's in dreams.
And it is in dreams.
Instead of, like, a casino.
But in order to do a dream heist, you got to get people together.
You got to get the team.
Because, okay, so I guess this is just a world where this is like a field of study and you can just, like, do this. Because
that's what it seems like.
It's like a completely normal world other than this one thing where everybody can just kind of go into each other's dreams through like a chemical shared, like you're all linked up together through like a box.
Yeah, they don't explain the mechanics of it, but I don't think they need to. I think I think it'd be too much to get into the nitty gritty. I think that's where Tenet went wrong. Tenet
doesn't. Okay, the thing about Tenet is that it doesn't. Going into dreams is such an easier to grasp concept than like, okay, we're going to reverse the polarity on this object so it goes backwards in time. But then you're also going forward. But then if you go backward, it's like, no, it doesn't make sense. So that's why you need to constantly explain it. But then at some point, I'm sure it makes sense to Nolan. I'm positive it makes sense to him. But it does, like, you gotta...
It's not even... I kind of understood it. I don't know. I don't even want to talk about Tenet.
I mean, dreams...
I know I brought it up, but...
The reason why dreams work is because there's something we all experience, right?
Mm-hmm. And there's a certain level of, like, anything could happen in a dream, hypothetically, you know?
You know what I hate?
Oh.
I hate when people are like, oh no, I don't dream. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Well, but some people just, like, don't remember dreams.
Yeah, that's different than, oh yeah, I don't dream. You know why? Because dreaming is essential... like, for our mental sanity.
I want to start remembering my dreams more.
I remember my dreams all the time. Well, I take a lot of melatonin.
I only remember my dreams sometimes.
I drink a lot of caffeine when I wake up.
Crazy dreams, though.
And take a lot of melatonin when I go to bed. It's the only way I can function. I've absolutely destroyed my natural, like,
I feel like I want to remember my dreams. I think in middle school and high school, I remember my dreams.
Write them down first thing in the morning.
But I feel like I don't remember them, like, most of the time now. But I have some good ones. I have, like, a notes on my notes app that's, like...
That's good.
A bunch of my dreams. But I haven't written it in a long time. And it's mostly from middle school and high school. But there's some crazy ones in there. I've,
like, broken my... This is the last thing, and then we'll genuinely get into the movie. But I've, like, broken my brain. Because some days, every, like, 15 minutes or so, I'll have, like, a flash. Like, a sudden, like... That's So Raven moment to, like, a moment in one of my dreams.
A dream?
And I'm like, wait, is that, like, a dream memory I just had? And it, like, it is. But then it, like... as quick as it came, it disappears. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? It's like the weirdest thing. And then like some days I'll just be stuck like having those every 15 minutes. I don't know if it's like...
What is like PTSD?
Is it like a dietary thing? It's like...
Dietary?
Well, I mean, something is fucking with my brain that like some days, every 15 minutes I get like a And then I'm like, I get like a flash and I'm like riding on a giraffe or something, and I snap out of it and I'm like, wait, what was that?
Are you okay?
No, I don't.
What?
Maybe I'm going crazy.
What?
Maybe I'm going crazy.
Okay.
Okay. We gotta actually get into it. We're 30 minutes in. So.
Oh God. And this is not.
So he gets the team together. He goes to his dad, who I guess teaches this stuff. So no wonder he's great at it. And he's like, give me your best student. I need an architect. Mm-hmm. An architect is a person who they go into the dream of.
Builds the world of the dream.
The dream world because it's their brain that they're going into or whatever.
No, but I think it's someone else's brain they go into. And they just like build the world.
They're like half of the dream.
Like they go in, like I think what they end up doing is they go into Leonardo DiCaprio's brain, but then the architect like builds the world, but then Leonardo DiCaprio's subconscious like fills in the blanks
with people and
with people and how it looks and
we discover all this as he talks to Elliot Page, who in this movie
named Ariadne in the movie, which I really like that reference because I don't think I got that in high school. But
what is that reference?
Ariadne helped Theseus get out of the labyrinth from the Minotaur in Greek mythology. So
I don't remember
mazes.
Is he?
And that's the whole point is Ariadne's character in this movie.
Does Ariadne give Theseus like the yarn or whatever, the fleece?
I'm pretty sure, yes. I read a book. I read one of those like
you read a book.
I read a lot of books, but I read like one of those like fictionalized versions of like a Greek myth, and it was called Ariadne. So that's why I like know about this.
Wow.
I don't remember it very well, but I'm pretty sure she's the one that gives him the yarn to get through the maze.
Okay, cool. So, I mean...
And then Theseus becomes a hero, and he just ditches Ariadne, like, on an island.
Here's another one of Christopher Nolan's hyperfixations. And maybe this has to do with the time thing also. Mm-hmm. He loves a fucking labyrinth, or like a maze. You know his company logo? Yeah. Synecdoche? It's like a... It's like syncope. Maze. It is a maze.
Yeah. He loves a puzzle. I mean, that fits, though, with the way his, like, scripts are, and it's, like, all these pieces, and... Oh, is it the Nolan variation?
And then I stopped reading it.
I want to read that, actually.
It's good. It was good. I don't know why I stopped reading it, but I mean, it was just interesting.
I've heard of that book, actually. I don't read a lot of nonfiction, honestly.
That's like the only thing I read.
Oh, really?
For the most part, because I like to learn.
I mostly read fiction, but every once in a while, I will read nonfiction.
Elliot Page, he's telling Elliot Page's character about like how the dreaming works, and Ariadne agrees. So Ariadne comes onto the team, being the architect. They fuck around in the dream for a bit. He flips some shit over.
He makes some cool... There's some explosions.
Yeah.
Because, they're talking. Then he's like, we're in a dream right now. Whoa.
Boom, boom, boom.
But then his subconscious...
attacks Ariadne.
But specifically, there's one woman who keeps showing up in his subconscious.
Yes.
And she's like, who is that? And he's like, don't worry about it. Not a good sign.
Not a great sign.
Not a good sign.
And this woman is Maul. Does she get introduced here?
I think we find out that it's his wife, Maul, and she's dead. And that's all we really know.
Yes, but we know Maul. I keep wanting to say, because we watch the subtitles on, as you have to do now, because I guess Gen Z's all broken their brains. But
I don't think I have to, but...
I don't think I have to either, but like the mixing. Now that we have the surround sound.
Okay. Love Christopher Nolan. His movies are not known for having the best... We were talking about sound earlier.
No, okay.
His sound's a little all over the place because they're having like a dialogue and a conversation. All of a sudden, there's like boom.
I'll say this in the Nolan variations. Mm-hmm. It's like the interviewer brings that up to him. He's like, "Hey, so why are your movies like this?" Yeah. And he's like, "Well, when I watched." I don't know. I can't do the.
He does a British accent.
Yeah,
he's British.
I watch movies in my boarding house. Whatever. Fucking, they're all the same. I can't say that. I can't say that.
No, they're not.
British people are all different and wonderful sometimes. But he's like, so when he used to watch like the tapes of the movies, I guess the sound was just like that's how they sounded to him. So that's just how he makes movies. It's just because that's how he's used to watching movies.
Okay.
I mean,
that was also, not to keep bringing up Tenet, but that was a big problem with Tenet. It was that half the time they were explaining important stuff, I was like, I can't hear anything they're saying because the soundtrack is actually going boom, boom, boom. Like, it's so loud. It's booming.
I've had this.
And it's a good soundtrack. It's just too loud.
I've run into this issue, like, filmmaking myself, is because it's like, well, that's not how it sounds in real life. You kind of have to turn that off and be like, well, you need the audio to sound clear.
Sure.
Because, like, if you're at, like, a muffled party or whatever, and, like, you have people talking, you're like, well, you need to hear them. But then I want to turn the ambience up because I'm like, well, you talk and then the volume of your voice is the same volume as everybody else's voice.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky balance.
How do we even get into this?
Because the soundtrack, because he says mall or whatever. Anyway, the reason I
actually don't think it's that bad.
Oh, because we had subtitles on, and I wanted to say that mall.
Oh, subtitles.
I always wanted to pronounce it mal, because I guess I'm
in my
American.
brain when I see the spelling.
It's probably because he was British and he was telling all these American actors, he's like, it's mall.
I think it's not. And I think she was supposed to be. I think she was British too, right? I think.
Here, just so I don't get tripped up over it, for the sake of this, we're going to be referring to Ariadne's character with she, her pronouns, just because that's the character.
Within the film. Yeah. The character is she, her.
Yes. So, who else is on the team?
Tom Hardy.
Yes, Tom Hardy. And he meets up with Tom Hardy, and he's like, people are following me. And so then there's a fun little chase sequence. Wait, what is Tom Hardy's, like, role on the
I think he's just, like, really good at this type of thing.
He's
like,
just really good.
I think he's just, like, another guy in the business.
He's like... Because, no, he's not the chemist.
He's like, oh, bro, it is possible.
What? Okay.
It's possible, but it's just really hard, but you got to make sure you do it like this.
True. True. Yeah, I guess.
That's basically what happens, though, is, like, Leonardo DiCaprio, like, explains the plan.
I don't think that's what he said.
There's something where he's, like, I think he's just good at the job, and I think he suggests how to do it.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't remember. There's like there's a certain piece of the puzzle that he brings. I don't remember specifically what it was.
There's this theory that Christopher Nolan's movies are all like you could analyze them as like if they were about him. So like Interstellar, it's like about him having to go off and make movies and leave his family behind.
Okay.
No. Follow with this. And then so this is kind of like you kind of just got to like view everything with the lens that it's about him and filmmaking. This is kind of like He's got to make a film to like unlock an idea or something. If you think of the dreams as like, I don't know. I think that's interesting.
It's interesting. I don't know if I really buy into that, but
well, that's the beautiful thing about art is that you can analyze anything how you want to analyze it.
Sure. Maybe I just think that analyzation's wrong.
No, I think subconsciously he might have been doing it, even not realizing, or maybe that's how he got. I am not doing a good job staying on task with this.
Okay. So who's our team? We have
Tom Hardy,
Elliot Page. There's a chemist. He's basically there to just like sedate everyone.
Yusuf, I don't know the actor's name, but he's
obviously Leonardo DiCaprio and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
He's in Drag Me to Hell.
Are we missing anyone? Oh, Sato's technically part of the team.
Oh yeah, because he's just there to make sure it goes.
Is that everything?
Yeah, I don't think. I think Tom Hardy and Elliot Page's characters were the only ones that got like extended moments where they recruited them, right?
Yeah, the chemist part is pretty quick. A forger named Eames. Oh, was that? I think that's Tom Hardy's character. Okay. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, but I saw a bunch of comments on it about letterboxd.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy's character and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, they don't seem to like each other very much. Very flirtatious vibes.
Well,
very.
I'll say this also.
Like, get a room, you two.
Leonardo DiCaprio's movie character in this movie
kind of sucks.
Kind of like constantly
screws everyone else
screwing other people over, which I guess I get when you're trying to see your kids again that you've been removed from, but I don't know, have some decency. The reason why, I guess because we can just go ahead and get into this, because I mean they're about to start the job.
The very rich dad dies,
but before they do the job, Ariadne goes into Leonardo's dream.
Oh yes,
and she's like, "What's going on?" And first of all, why did she do that?
Yeah, that's like so violent. Well, okay, but because, I guess this argument can be made for like the whole film is that the whole thing's about them entering people's dreams, which like when you think about it, that's like so violating. Like you're entering someone's own mind.
I said this to you. This is the whole conceit of like Freddy Krueger, right? Is that like you're in the most private of space and a man is violating you. But it's like. Okay, so I guess I can't really complain that he had it done to him, but it's like he was not inviting Elliot Page to come over and insert himself into Leonardo DiCaprio's dream.
Right. In the dream, I mean, we don't really find out that much, just like...
No, but...
There's some weird stuff going on with Leonardo DiCaprio and his wife.
Yeah. The whole time, Leonardo DiCaprio was talking about... He's like, why couldn't you just do some of this stuff yourself? He's like, I can't be the architect.
Yeah, he's
my
like,
subconscious is crazy.
He's like,
you wouldn't last one day in my head.
It's getting harder and harder to like control it because his wife and his subconscious, because remember, she's dead in real life.
Yeah.
She's starting to kind of take control. Not good. Imagine your subconscious taking control over you.
Yeah, I said
That's
this to you
not
also.
how your brain should work.
She has this man whipped.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
And so what?
It's like Leonardo DiCaprio now seeing a 22-year-old. Okay.
Oh man,
that was a good joke.
He has to be. You think he's aware of it, right? Do you think his publicists are like, "Hey man"?
He knows. Like, there's no way he doesn't know.
The public perception of him. But I mean, I guess also if you're Leonardo DiCaprio, I guess you can just do whatever the fuck you want. Look, I'm not trying to infantilize like 25-year-old women. Well, oh no, but I guess he breaks up with them once they turn 25.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole anymore, but
I've got 3 more years of qualification.
Better get on it.
Better get started now.
And okay, so they get on first class. Mr. Fisher, Cillian Murphy is in the...
He's there because his dad is dead.
Yeah, they're all going on the same flight.
So it's time to incept.
They said this is like, what, a 12-hour flight to Australia or whatever?
I think they needed 12 hours because this is also the part where, okay, they explain how time works differently in a dream. And time in a dream... And this makes sense. When you think about when you're dreaming, it feels like you're there for, I don't know, like a day. But in reality, it's maybe like an hour.
Yeah.
So they need at least 12 hours.
But
then also the plan is to go several layers down into the dream.
And then each time they do, the time goes longer because they're in a dream within a dream.
So like if you're on level 3 of a dream, I don't even know.
Okay, I think the example, I think they made, so like 60 minutes is like a couple minutes in the dream above it. And then a couple minutes is only like a couple seconds. Not even.
In real life.
No, in the dream above that.
Oh.
And then a couple, I don't know how long a couple seconds would be, and probably like nanoseconds within the real world.
So basically the lower you get in dreams, the longer time lasts, kind of?
Yeah.
So they needed a lot of time.
No, but that doesn't make any sense because then if they had more, but I guess they just wanted enough time to do it. My point about bringing this up was that they're saying, oh yeah, this guy goes on like I think it's a little over 12 hours. He goes on this flight to Australia every like week or every couple of weeks. Dude, I guess I know some people are
rich
frequent flyers, but like
maybe if like the company has like a huge shareholder.
What are you doing on flights that long?
I don't know how business works.
What are you doing on flights that long?
Well, if you're in first class, you see that look comfortable.
I know, but you get bored out of your mind.
Probably get work done. Well, they also said he normally does it in a private jet.
Yeah.
And they literally just messed with his flight to be able to get him to go on a public plane so they could get into his dreams.
Man, imagine what you do with a private jet.
Like, okay, Taylor Swift. I say that as a Taylor Swift fan.
Yeah, she,
But girl, put the private jet away. So they're on the plane. They're going into the dream. And I guess the only other, it's not really that important, but the other kind of important thing is that the way that they're going to make their way back through the dreams. Because normally the only way, if you know you're in the dream, the only way to wake up is to die, right? So the only other way other than that is a kick, which basically is like that feeling of like, when like you're falling in a dream and it makes you wake up, like they have to like kind of simulate that to wake up and go like up a level in the dream.
That's kind of crazy to me, because wouldn't your body just wake up at some point?
I mean, I guess like eventually, but your body doesn't normally wake up in the middle of a dream because it's like in REM, sometimes right?
Yeah.
Typically it doesn't though.
Well, REM is the closest to being awake your brain gets.
Because it's active.
Which is weird, because apparently REM is like the sleep you want.
Yeah.
You want a healthy amount of REM. You want a healthy amount of deep sleep. You want a healthy amount of like shallow sleep.
REM is when you dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And your eyes go like...
Yeah, they're all over the place. But yeah, because I guess typically speaking, you don't wake up from REM.
I know a lot about sleep, actually. It's
Good for you.
It's like a weird interest of mine.
Well, that's great, Tyson.
Cool.
I don't have anything to add. I like sleep.
This has to be one of our worst episodes.
You say that every single episode.
I haven't said that recently.
I feel like you have.
I just feel like my brain is going all over the place.
We knew when we were getting into it, we were going to talk about this movie. We knew there's only so much you can do to explain a movie like this, you know?
It's actually very simple because we're already like, they go into the dream a little bit before the halfway point.
So they're in the dream. Well,
they get into the dream.
They get into Cillian Murphy's brain.
The first dream is just a city and it's raining.
But
as soon as they get in there,
shit goes haywire.
People like a small trained group of militia come
and just start shooting at them, and they're like, "Whoa,
what happened?
Whoa, what's going going on?
Apparently, Cillian Murphy's character has been trained for this exact scenario.
His subconscious is trained to attack anyone else in his brain.
How? How do you do that?
How do you get into someone else's dream?
I guess I shouldn't be.
I think it actually makes sense, like, in the world of this movie, if, like, this is, like, this seems like a thing that, like, getting into people's dreams seems like a very, like, high class, like, very expensive, very exclusive service. So it makes sense that, like, someone like a CEO or someone in line to inherit a lot of money would be susceptible to that and therefore maybe get trained to.
I guess I just don't understand, how do you train someone to do that? And then they're not even aware of it.
How do you train someone to build a world in someone's dream?
That makes more sense to me. No, I guess it doesn't. Okay. So, but then also a fucking train just like goes through an intersection. And everyone's like, what's this train doing here? And Leonardo DiCaprio was like, fuck, Leonardo.
He's like, Our boy Leo, he's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, he's just like, just don't worry about it.
So Sato gets shot.
Oh, yeah, like immediately because of the militia. And then they all regroup and they're like, oh, this gone sideways.
So, yeah, not good. They basically, try to like...
No, but the reason why they're like, okay, just wake Sato up. And Leonardo DiCaprio's like, well, actually...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about how he screws over all the other characters consistently.
In order for us to do 3 dreams, we needed a different, like, chemical.
We had, like, a really strong sedative.
And this chemical, if you die in the dream, you won't wake up. You will instead go down to limbo, which is like infinite dreaming.
Yeah.
Which I also don't understand how that's possible either.
Everyone's like, wait a minute. Why didn't you tell us that? Why? What's going on?
He's like, I needed to see my kids. It's like, well, give people the chance to be like, or at least prepare for that.
Because now they're all kind of like, okay, well, like, we have to keep going. Like, we don't have any other options. So
they put, so I think they sedate Sato because... Well,
I think they're trying to make sure he just stays alive.
I know, but I think if they put him asleep, then he can last longer, right?
Well, they all go asleep in just a few minutes.
Well, not Yusuf. Yusuf's driving a van.
Well, yeah, but before we get there, they basically, like, try and set it up. They set the dream up like they're, like, kidnapping Cillian Murphy, and they're trying to get information from him about his dad's, like, something in his dad's vault. And they get a random set of numbers from him, and...
Oh, yeah, because...
and Tom Hardy pretends to be some other guy that, like, worked in the dad's company.
Oh, yeah. So, I think... Okay.
So, they're basically subconsciously trying to turn Cillian Murphy...
Yes, against the guy that worked for his father.
Yes.
And then also to re-heal the relationship between him and his father. Because if you have, like, some kind of revelatory, like, catharsis moment in your dream, I guess it's more likely to make something stick.
Yes.
Because everyone wants that.
Versus, like... I mean, that makes sense when you think about it. Versus, like, if you just had a completely random thought, like, someone just
you gotta make the idea seem important,
right? Yeah.
And so the goal is to make the idea that his father didn't want him. His father, also a real piece of work. He said he was disappointed
really
in Cillian
bad
Murphy.
Guy, yeah.
But they're gonna be like, how can we spin this so that Cillian Murphy re-heals his relationship with his father, and then we trick him into thinking his father really wanted him to become his own person. And so that way, he might destroy the company.
It's an interesting, like, I don't know, like, rhetoric, kind of.
Yeah?
Like, how do we get him to get to this conclusion? And, like, what... Like, because it's, like, it's all about persuasion, kind of. It's, like, it's not just, like, we can't just, like, be like, okay, break up your dad's company. It's, like, how do we almost create, like, a narrative to, like, get you to that point?
So this dream, they're...
It's, like, manipulative, but that's kind of the point.
It is.
But it's great. Okay.
So this dream,
we're in level
their plan
1.
is to get him, and they do get him, and they try to get him the numbers, which we talked about.
Uh-huh.
And they're doing that because his father's, like, assistant, they're trying to set up that he is the one trying to incept the information from him. So they go down into another dream.
They go down another dream. Okay, so I think
I've lost track. I've lost the plot.
They all get in a car and everybody goes to sleep, like you were saying, except for the chemist, and he's driving a van, and he's just getting chased the whole time by the subconscious with guns, and he's driving. Great. That's all that really matters. Level 2. We get to level 2 of the dream. We're going down.
Whose dream are we in level 2?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's the one that stays, right?
No, they go back into Dream 1 Cillian Murphy's dream. Into Dream 2 Cillian Murphy.
I thought level 3 was... Oh, wait, no, level 3 is not Cillian Murphy. They just wanted him to think it was him.
Level 3, they're trying to convince him that it's the... Oh, Fuck. Okay.
No.
So they go into level 2.
Didn't you have a chart that you pulled up?
I did have a chart. Look, it makes sense to me.
Does it matter? Does it matter whose dream they're in?
No, not really. But I just kind of want to keep track of what they're doing to Cillian Murphy.
I think level 2 is Joseph Gordon-Levitt because he stays there, right? And then they trick Cillian Murphy into thinking that they're going into his in level 3, but they're actually not. I'm saying level
1, they put Cillian Murphy to sleep.
Oh, wait, they have to be in his dream, right?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, no.
So they're in Cillian Murphy's dream initially.
Okay.
And then they go into level 1. Dream level 1.
This makes sense because technically it's all within his
but
brain.
Cillian Murphy does not know that level 1 is a dream.
No, he doesn't. He thinks
this
level 1 is real. This is crucial
because they go into him deeper, so he thinks he's actually being held hostage.
Yes.
And so he's forgotten entirely about the flight. He thinks he's being held hostage.
Actually being held hostage, being questioned by these people.
So they go into a dream, and Leonardo DiCaprio tries to be like, I'm part of your militia team.
Basically, his subconscious is getting too good at spotting them, so he's like, I have an idea. We're going to tell him that he's dreaming.
So he's like, hey, I'm the leader of your subconscious. You were being incepted by your...
No, not incepted.
Or you're being just extracted.
Yeah, like...
Okay, so I'm being extracted.
People are invading your dream.
By your dad's assistant.
Like, you've been trained for this.
Yeah, you've been trained
Please
for
follow
this.
me. Leonardo DiCaprio goes into secret agent mode.
And then he's like, what do you remember? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm being held hostage. And they're like, you think your dad's assistant, Uncle Peter? You think Uncle Peter really has your best interest or something? And he says something. And so he starts thinking, Uncle Peter, oh, he set me up. Because he wants what's in the safe.
Right. Because supposedly in the safe is the rights of the company or whatever.
But they don't care anything about what's in the safe. They're just trying to incept him.
There's not actually a safe. It's all in the dream.
Oh, it really?
Yeah.
Okay, so he does that, and he's like, but you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into Uncle Peter's dream so we can get the code before he does or whatever. Mm-hmm. I actually don't understand how they pitched this to him. Why would going into...
Well, I think it's interesting, too, because the whole way he approaches it is Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is like, this is a bad idea. This doesn't work. We've tried this before. So it's, interesting because at first when Leonardo DiCaprio's like, I'm the head of your subconscious. You have to listen to me. Cillian Murphy's subconscious is going crazy. All the heads start turning. Mm-hmm. It gets a little dangerous, dicey there for a minute. But yeah, I think he's like, we need to go and get... further into the dream before Uncle Peter does to stop him.
This has to be our worst episode for this reason alone. People are going to be listening to us and then we're going to be going I don't know.
I mean, I told you that when we were watching. I was like, how the hell are we going to explain this movie?
Okay, so
they convince him to go to sleep and they tell him, oh, we're going to go into your dream, but they don't. They go into Cobb's dream. You know what happens though? You know what we kind of skipped over? At least according to the Wikipedia synopsis.
What?
Cobb. So we mentioned there was that big train that came through in level 1 of the dream.
Yeah.
And Ariadne's like, hey, what was that? What was the train? What was it about? And so Cobb, Leonardo DiCaprio, he finally explains what went down with his wife and why she keeps showing up in his subconscious.
Okay.
Basically, they both did this whole dream thing and they would go into their dreams or whatever. And so they purposefully went into limbo, to experiment kind of with dreaming. And they spent 50 years there.
Yeah.
In real life, it was only one night. But
they got
within
stuck in
the
limbo,
dream world.
Were they there by choice? I thought they got stuck in limbo somehow.
I think they were there by choice.
But they didn't want to leave, or Mal forgot she was dreaming.
Yeah, well, he doesn't say what exactly. He explains Mal started to not be able to, tell reality from dream world and, see them apart. So finally, he had to, convince them to, kill themselves in the dream so they would, come back to the world. But he was like, no, nothing was ever the same after. But,
yeah.
So that explains kind of, why. And then once she was back in the real world, like I said, she could not discern reality from dreams. So she thought that she was, still dreaming. And she's like, well, we have to kill ourselves to wake up. So she jumped off a ledge to quote unquote wake up, even though it was real life at that point. So she was just dead. So he tells Ariadne this. And Ariadne's like, great. And now she's haunting your subconscious because you feel guilty for
Yes.
contributing to your wife's death.
And I don't know when we're going to get into this, but let's just say it now. The reason why he knows Inception's possible is because he...
Well, that's a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
It is
the whole podcast is a spoiler.
No, but that's a big moment that happens later in the movie.
Can we not just say that now, though?
No, I feel like that's a big reveal when that happens.
Okay, when does it happen?
It happens once...
We're already in the third dream.
I'm going to keep spoiling it.
We're already in the third dream now.
Oh, man. Okay, well, let's get through the third dream.
Okay, let's get through the... third dream. They're in a winter base. I don't know whose dream this is.
There's so much snow. I don't understand why they're there.
It's like a Russian,
It's literally like a militarized base in the mountains, and it's snowing.
And
they're trying to get inside.
The dream, his father's being...
Because, like, the supposed, like, safe is inside or whatever.
On life support at the bottom.
Oh, is that why? To talk to the dad one more time?
Yeah, the dad's at the life support at the bottom. And...
Okay. Why? I was like... Oh, well, okay, wait. Just a really cool moment. I know we said we weren't going to jump between dream levels, but in level 1, Yusuf's driving... And he's driving like a maniac, and like the car is flipping, and there's crazy stuff happening. So in level 2, gravity like ceases to exist, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt is like running around the hall, like this spinning hallway. Mm-hmm. It's really cool, really well done. I don't know if you've ever have you seen like the behind the scenes of that part?
No, but they do a
very cool.
I know it's like a spinning room.
Yeah, it's a spinning room thing. I just watched
they do a spinning
room
in Nightmare on Elm Street as well, which is cool.
And what?
And Nightmare on Elm Street as well. They do a spinning room.
I haven't seen that. I really don't remember that movie like at all. I think I watched it when I was like 15.
Okay, well,
but
we'll watch it at some point.
Maybe a good Halloween spooky pick. But anyway, that part's really cool and it's really well done and I really like it. But back to level 3.
Okay, we got to stay in.
Why are they in level? What makes them go further? Why?
I don't know. Okay, so they're in dream.
I just want to say, we sound frustrated right now. When we were watching this, we were both pumped up. We were like, "It's a
great movie.
This is a great movie." Like we've both seen this before. We were on the edge of our seats. Just like,
it was a great movie.
This is great.
When
I'm so
excited.
I was
excited. When it ended, I was pumped. I
know, me too. It's one of those movies that I feel like it ends, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I should go on a run right now or something." Like that was great. Let's go. But yeah, no, explaining it's definitely.
So they're in Dream 3, and some stuff happens. Cillian Murphy gets shot by...
someone else get...
Cillian Murphy gets shot by Maul.
Oh, yeah, because she's there, and everyone's like, what the hell is she doing
And they're
here?
like, okay, well, we fucked this up. And they're like, okay, no, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into limbo after him.
Time is running short.
Yes.
Just to make things clear.
I said that.
Oh, you did?
Uh-huh.
I was trying to read the synopsis in my brain,
fine.
was not working.
So they're in limbo. We're in limbo now.
And they're trying to get out of limbo before the kick happens.
Yeah, they're trying to get Cillian Murphy
Which
away.
also, nice little touch. They have it so, like, when the kick's gonna happen, they play a song.
Uh-huh.
They put, like, headphones on the next person.
And the dream...
And it's that French song. I don't know what it's called.
And it sounds really echoey and slow.
It sounds cool.
When you hear it. Yeah.
I really like it.
Apparently the whole soundtrack of this movie is just, like, one song sped up and slowed down. Apparently. That doesn't seem true. Because apparently that's what the bombs are. It's like the notes of the song when it's really slow.
That doesn't seem true, but it'd be kind of cool
I feel like I've
if
heard
it
that
was.
before, though.
I've never heard that before.
Okay, so they're in limbo. Okay. They find Cillian Murphy.
So they find Cillian Murphy. They're able to wake him up and get him back, I guess.
Yeah.
But this is when you wanted to reveal this, and I feel like this is like a big moment.
Wait, okay. Well, that was like 5 minutes ago.
The reason... Leonardo DiCaprio.
Why couldn't we just reveal that then?
Because we weren't at the part yet, and now we are at the part.
But like we've only said 2 sentences worth of plot progression between then and now. It's not that huge of a difference.
You were about to completely skip level 3 of the dream.
No, we were already in level 3.
We had just gotten there.
We were already there.
At least explain what happens. Well, then it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Explain the 2 sentences of the thing that happened, and then go in chronological order. You're gonna go out of order for a movie like this?
Okay,
no.
So he thinks he incepted the idea for Maul to kill herself.
He did. No, what he incepted was the idea of...
That you're in a dream, you gotta wake up by killing yourself.
Yes.
And so
then when she woke up, that idea didn't go away.
Uh-huh.
Is that what the idea was? I feel like it was more nuanced.
The idea was that kill yourself, wake up.
Incepting in her the belief that the real world was still a dream.
And so the whole time...
Because she
convinced herself
while they were there and he was trying to get her out, she was refusing.
Yes.
So he was like, oh, this will make her leave. Little did he know.
Yeah, he tried to remind her that she was in a dream.
With the little... Oh, I guess we haven't even brought that up.
Okay, so he carries around a little top, and if he spins it and it falls down, he's awake. And if it keeps spinning, he knows he's in a dream.
Yeah.
And so he spins it all the time because he's worried all the time that when he's awake, he's in a dream because he doesn't know whether or not Maul was actually right when she killed herself. But he kind of just assumes that he's right. But he could also still be in a dream even when he's waking, supposedly. So they get there. Saito died, so he's there. But Leonardo DiCaprio's got to go find him.
Where are we?
We're right at the end where the kick happens, and so Ariadne and Cillian Murphy jump off that building. And Leonardo DiCaprio stays because
I'm just trying to figure out what is even, how does the kick go back up? How do they get back up to get out of the dream? I don't even remember.
They jump off the building. Cillian Murphy gets resuscitated into dream level 3. He goes to his dad. He opens up the safe. Oh,
yeah, this is important.
He opens up the safe. He pulls out a pinwheel. Oh, I love my dad. The dad is like, I actually want you to destroy my company. And he's
basically,
like, okay.
I want you to like be your own man.
Yeah. He's like, please destroy your company. He doesn't say that, but that's the message. That's the accepted idea. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I will, Dad. And then his dad dies. And then he wakes up because the snow destroys everything. And then they wake up in the hotel. And then they wake up in the van.
Because the van is like, this is a cool shot.
Yeah, and then they're underwater.
Going over a bridge, and then they're underwater.
And the van hits the water, and so Cillian Murphy and Uncle Peter come out, because at this point, they still think they were being held hostage.
Yes, he thinks that this is real.
Like, I'm going to destroy the company, and Uncle Peter's like, okay. Then they all wake up on the plane.
Then they wake up, but technically, Leonardo DiCaprio is still in limbo.
I know, but when they wake up, we discover that he found him. Oh, no, because they did find Saito.
Well, there's a moment where it's like, It seems as if a lot of time has passed. Yeah, remember, the way limbo works, like, it's maybe been like 5 minutes in real life, and it's been like a full year
So he finds Saito, who died from the gunshot wound, and he's an old-ass man.
In limbo, yeah.
And he's like, okay, I've come back for you. We're ready to go.
And then it just kind of cuts to
and they all wake up
on the plane. It doesn't really show what happened.
And Saito has like a brief moment of, holy fuck. Because he was probably in that dream for years and years and years and years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio was in the dream with his wife for
and then I don't know how he remembered to do the phone call, because he was like, oh, I got to call those people and let them know that Leonardo DiCaprio
he makes
can
a call
come back
and now
Los
Leonardo
Angeles.
DiCaprio. Well, I guess we didn't explain. Part of the reason he couldn't go back and see his kids is because when his wife killed herself, she told the police that he killed her and threatened to kill their kids, because she was like, oh, well, now you don't have any attachments, like you can come and die with me and we'll wake up together and it'll be all over again. And so that's why he can't see his kids, because everybody thinks that he killed his wife. So now that he's back, now he can't see his kids.
I don't know how Saito has any kind of jurisdiction over the law. Well, I guess because he's a big businessman, but it's I don't know, it just seems silly to me. Who did he call? Did he get the
ICE? I don't know.
Why is he not allowed to come back into the country, but now he is?
Don't question it.
Anyway, so they go back to Los Angeles, and then he sees his
kids, which he's seen his kids have popped up a lot through the movie, in his dreams and stuff, but you never see their faces, because
do they land in Australia or do they land in Sydney? They land in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
I don't know. And yeah,
well, Leonardo DiCaprio gets to Los Angeles. Maybe that's not where they landed at that moment. I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he hasn't seen the kids.
He sees his kids. He hasn't. So they keep popping up throughout the whole movie, but they never see his face. And I think it's because if he saw their faces, he wouldn't care if it's a dream or not. He'd just go to his kids and be with them forever. So he wouldn't mind.
No, he doesn't want to see their. Yeah.
But he sees their faces, so he goes over and he's reunited with his kids. But before he does that, he starts spinning his top to make sure it's real or not. Uh-huh. But then he sees their faces and he doesn't even care, and he goes over to the kids. And the movie ends with it spinning top, and it wobbles a little bit, but it doesn't fall.
And then it cuts. Well, I mean, because it's it's before it would fall, it cuts.
So the big question is, do you think he was dreaming?
No.
Or do you think...
one, I think the point is that it doesn't matter. The point is that he's accepted the way things are, and he's back with his kids. And
that's what I think Christopher Nolan, I forget, I found a quote basically where
it doesn't matter if he's in a dream or not. But, however, my own personal opinion, no, he's clearly not in a dream.
Okay, my own personal opinion is I do think he's in a dream.
Clearly the top was about to fall over.
I think it's a tragedy, and I think that he's stuck in limbo and that he didn't make it out, and he's just with his kids, I guess, which is nice because he's with his kids, but in real life,
stuck in limbo.
They're abandoned and they think their father killed their mother.
You just want to be a contrarian. You just want to think that.
I've always thought that.
No. Clearly not.
I've always thought
Clearly
that.
Not, though.
It keeps spinning. It wobbles, but it keeps spinning.
It's literally about to fall over before it cuts.
No, it's not. It wobbles a little bit and then it corrects itself.
No, it slows down. It's doing what a top does right before it falls over.
I don't know. I don't know.
Have you ever spun a top before?
Yes.
That's not what it. No, because when they spin it in the dream, it doesn't wobble at all.
But I think it easily could have wobbled a little bit, or like if he walked past it.
The point is that it's supposed to go both ways.
Also, yeah. Well, that's what I think I like so much about the movie is that even though it ends on a slightly ambiguous note, like you understand exactly what's happening. You know.
Uh-huh.
Where it's like, yeah, I don't know if he's awake or asleep, but I understand what's going on and how he got to this point. And like, it's a great
movie.
It's a rewarding feeling to like sit through something that's a little bit complicated and like it all makes sense in the end and it comes together. It's like, wow, this is great. I was saying we got really frustrated talking about this, but we had a great time watching it. I remember we watched this, I don't know, earlier this week, and I was really tired and I was like, I don't know if I have the brain power to watch this today. And I had a great time.
It's a great movie.
It turned my mood around.
Christopher Nolan makes great movies.
I'm a fan of Christopher Nolan.
Everyone is. He's like the biggest filmmaker alive right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna maybe debate that, but I'll
name a bigger filmmaker.
Like Quentin Tarantino.
No. He surpassed Quentin Tarantino.
I think he surpassed. Yeah.
In terms of popularity, yeah.
Popularity. Oh. Quentin Tarantino or
No, I'm saying Christopher Nolan is the biggest.
Yeah, I think Christopher Nolan's probably bigger, commercial.
He's super popular, makes commercial movies, they make a lot of money.
Yeah. And critically acclaimed. He got his Oscar finally with Oppenheimer.
Which, to be fair, I don't know what other movie he would have even gotten an Oscar for. Maybe Dunkirk.
I think he has a lot of great movies.
No, I know
he
was
great nominated for Dunkirk,
but the Academy doesn't like the
the movie. Yeah, his movies are often not movies. Like Inception's not.
He makes action movies,
even though it's a fantastic movie. It's not really like an Academy movie.
Yeah, Academy doesn't really do action or horror or sci-fi really,
or anything fun.
Speculative fiction. Okay,
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm trashing the Academy. I get excited for the Oscars every year. Anyway,
it's all thing. I just want to be done with this.
This is a great movie. I think out of the Christopher Nolan movies I've seen, I think that for a long time I've considered this my favorite, and I feel like
it is my favorite.
I hadn't seen it in a while, so it was kind of starting to be hesitant about whether or not to say that, but I think it holds up. I think it's still my favorite. Listen, Oppenheimer's great, okay? It's a great movie. I get it. But like, this just gets me pumped up. This is a movie that I'm like, oh my god, movies are so amazing. Like, let's go.
I'm curious when his... Okay, here's the thing. I've seen Following, which is his very, very, very first movie. And it's black and white, and it's from the 90s, and it's like...
Is it a feature?
Like, barely.
Okay.
It's like barely over the time limit for a feature, and it's not very good. But then he does Memento, and Memento's great.
Memento's really awesome.
I don't know when he started, like, I don't know what clicked to where Following, which is just kind of like a movie about a guy who burgles, and then it's...
He had to build up. You got to start somewhere. You know?
I know. I'm just crazy that you went from kind of a mid movie to then nothing but bangers. Nothing but bangers.
Interstellar. I don't know why I always forget about Interstellar when it's like really...
Interstellar's a little less popular. People
I feel like that's one of his more popular ones.
Well, it's one of his more well-known popular ones, but I think people are like, that's not his best.
I think a lot of people like that one best.
Well, they're wrong. Oh no, I haven't seen Dunkirk, and I haven't seen Insomnia. But Insomnia isn't a movie
I also have not seen Insomnia.
Insomnia, I think, is like a U.S. remake of like a foreign film. One of those.
Is that Robin Williams?
It's like a Vanishing.
I don't know anything about Insomnia.
We are talking about completely two different things.
No, I'm looking at his filmography.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that same page.
I'm looking at it. I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I've seen most of these.
Yeah, I gotta watch the Dark Knight trilogy, but I've also seen most of these.
Just great movies. Oh, well, I guess he didn't do nothing but bangers because then he made Tenet.
Yeah, but even Tenet's not a bad movie. It's fine.
No, it's fine. It's like watchable. It's very watchable.
It's just compared to how good some of his other stuff was, it was a little underwhelming.
It's no Memento.
Yeah, I feel like Tenet was an attempt to make another Inception, and it was just not.
I want to rewatch Memento.
Memento's good.
I think it's just because he's I don't know. I just think he does...
He does, like, interesting, like,
he's very
somewhat complicated things, but he delivers them well.
I think the trick is that, I don't know, however, what he does, but he makes movies that are, like, very much, you just want to keep watching them. They're gripping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of movies I get bored at some point or another. I don't think I ever get bored, usually, with him.
Yeah, no, definitely not an Inception. I mean, even Oppenheimer it's a long movie, and it's like it keeps you engaged the whole time.
This went by faster than Oppenheimer did.
Oh,
this is like 30 minutes shorter.
Well, this is also I feel like this one's a little fast paced.
Yeah, man, that's great stuff. What's he gonna do next?
All right.
Sorry, we'll end this podcast in a second. I just want to see if there's anything like on the books for him to direct.
I'd love to know that actually. I think with Oppenheimer, it was like he had a ginormous budget and basically creative freedom.
He can do. After Oppenheimer, he can probably do anything he wants. He's probably been able to do anything he wants for a while.
I'm saying Oppenheimer, I feel like he was already able to do pretty much anything he wanted with that.
No, he has not announced to direct or write anything.
Christopher Nolan, come back.
I'm sure he will.
He's probably still, even though Oppenheimer was over a year ago now.
He wanted to do James Bond, but I don't...
Ooh.
But apparently they don't want him to do James Bond, which is crazy to me.
I have another confession. I've never seen a James Bond movie.
I haven't either.
We both have never seen a single James Bond movie.
And I kind of don't want him to do James Bond because I'm just not interested.
Well, okay, what I was going to say about James Bond is I feel like this might be unfair considering I have not seen a single James Bond movie, but I don't know if that's really his style. Like, I feel like he might... I
think that's not too far-fetched for him. I could
I don't think it's like far... I mean, then again, he did Dark Knight and stuff, but... I don't know, I guess it's not something that I would like immediately jump to, but I don't think it's like a bad idea.
Okay, I'm done. Let's end this podcast.
Let's end the podcast. So before we end, I'm gonna make you watch a movie next week.
Oh yes. Okay. Let's the endless cycle of hell that this podcast is. Never ends.
I'm bringing light and happiness to the world.
Every week I'm like, oh fuck, we got to do something for the podcast.
But I feel like I end up having a good time.
Yeah, we do it unless it's a bad movie. You didn't enjoy Skinamarink?
No, I actually did not enjoy
Okay, what's the movie?
I think we're going to do a first for the podcast. We're going to do a sequel.
Oh, wow. To a movie we also talked about on the podcast.
To a movie, yeah. I don't think I would do a sequel if we
we didn't know about it.
Is this Mamma Mia 2? Because here we go again. Woo!
Is this good? Is this a good movie? Is this as good as the first one?
Okay, here's the thing. I watched this when it came out in theaters, and I was like, love it, great, had a fun time, whatever. Went with friends, had a great time. And then I didn't watch it for like 2 or 3 years, and I was like, oh my god, like, is the movie bad? I was like, I know I enjoyed it, but I was like, is the movie bad? Like,
is it?
And then I rewatched it on a flight to Greece. And
well, that's gonna color your fucking opinion.
No, it didn't, because you know what? I watched it and I was like, "Oh, this is just a great movie." Like, it's one. You're
gonna think it's a great movie if you're on a flight to Greece.
That's not why I think it's great, though. Like, I think I've also seen it again.
It
since
incepted
then.
you.
I've seen it again.
It incepted
since
you.
Then, and genuinely, like, listen. Here's the thing. It's one of those movies where, like, does it have the most gorgeous cinematography? Is the plot the best written thing in the universe? Like, no, but. It's just impossible to not have fun while watching. Like, it's just a fun movie.
I'll find a way.
Like, it's one of those movies where it's just like, if you don't like it, shut up. Just shut up and, like, learn to have a good time. Sorry you're allergic to happiness and joy. It's fun.
You know I hate those things.
It's such a fun movie.
Is this the last podcast in September? Are we doing our October extravaganza after that?
Yes, okay. That's why I do have, because I have two spooky picks in mind for October, but this will technically,
I have 2 spooky
the Mamma
picks
Mia
as well.
episodes coming out, I think, like, literally the last day of September, I think. So, yes, this will be, which is also, like, perfect little, I know September is, like, technically fall, but I feel like end of summer, we're gonna, let's go back to a little island in Greece and sing some ABBA songs to say goodbye to summer.
Oh, forgot ABBA was the point of those movies.
It's the whole point of the movie.
Oh.
Let me tell you, it's all new songs.
I was going to say, you went through all of the good ones last time.
Except, of course, Mamma Mia. They sing that again. They sing Dancing Queen again, because you have to. I'm so excited. It's such... Tyson, it's good. I actually... No, because... And then, you know what? I was, like, on I remember going to letterboxd too and being like, am I crazy? Like, is this just, like... I'm like, I just had a great time. Like, and you know what? Letterboxd agrees with me.
It was made, like, a decade after the last one. They're probably all old.
Who cares? Beetlejuice was made, like, 40 years after the first one. And
they were way too old in that movie.
That's so... Wow. Tyson hates old people.
I'm just saying, like...
Ageist.
I don't think it's wrong to cast old people. I'm just saying Hollywood normally doesn't. So when you see all of those old people...
So isn't that a good thing? Give old people opportunities.
Listen, Tim Burton...
Also, they're not that old. Okay, to be
yes,
fair...
they are! They're all like 50.
Wait, who are we talking about right now?
Everybody...
I'm talking about Mamma Mia.
Oh, I'm talking about Beetlejuice.
Okay, Mamma Mia, the whole point of the original one is that they're all, like, a little bit older, obviously, except for, like, Amanda Seyfried and the guy. But, like, they're all a little bit older to start with. That's part of the movie. So now they're just like a little bit older. They've aged gracefully. And well, okay, wait. Do you know anything about the second movie?
No.
Okay, I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but basically, a good chunk of the movie is going back in time, and you get to see Meryl Streep's character when she was young.
You did say this, yes.
Being with the guys when they were young.
Great.
So there you go. Give your young people, Tyson. You're so close-minded that you can't appreciate the youth, our elders.
Who plays young Meryl Streep?
Lily James.
Okay. Okay. I'm just saying okay. I'm just saying all right.
All right.
Can we please end the podcast? I'm so tired.
Oh, it's my turn to do the outro.
Do you know it?
I do. Also, yeah, I feel like I just need to emphasize, we got so angry during this, but Inception's a great movie. We love Inception.
No, it is a great movie. We got passionate.
I just feel like you can't try to explain a Christopher Nolan movie sometimes. Like, it just has to speak for itself.
So clearly now I know, because now it's like, I'm talking about Memento. Oh my God, imagine if we did Memento.
Oh my God. I'd rather not. I feel like we just have to
kill ourselves.
I feel like we just have to do like one timeline the whole way through. That wouldn't work though.
Because then you're not getting the information.
It's fine. You said you have other movies in mind for the future, so it's fine. I'm going to end the podcast now.
Okay, please.
Thank you for listening. If you want to reach out to us, you can reach out at shutupandwatchpod@gmail.com.
Yes.
We also have an Instagram, shutupandwatchpod. We also have a letterboxd, shutupandwatch.
And then we have a website, which is shutupandwatchpod.weebly. Not Weebly.
Weebly?
.podbean.
Did you make a new website?
No, .podbean.com. You guys know the gist with the website. It's ugly on purpose. I don't know.
That's all our socials, right?
Yeah.
Great. We want to give a big thank you to Bailey Johnson for our logo, Ronan Lilly for editing the podcast, and Justin Hickland for our little theme song.
Thank you, guys. I feel like we're forgetting something before we do this last part.
I too.
Oh, give us good reviews. Give us a 5-star review. Follow us on your podcatchers. Oh, no, I thought you said... No, you're talking about the joke we do at the end of...
Yeah.
No, give us 5 stars and subscribe to our podcast.
Oh, God. Sorry, Ronan, for having to edit that part.
No, keep it. It's great stuff.
All of that?
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Okay, anyway.
Everyone's clicked off by now, I'm sure.
Tyson.
No one listens to the very end. Yes,
they
Christina.
should, because, Tyson, did you know?
What do I know?
That if you share this podcast with your friends and give us a good review, then maybe Leonardo DiCaprio and Cillian Murphy will visit you in your dreams tonight. And I wouldn't be mad, personally.
Oh, gee,
I was like, I was kind of watching
boy.
the movie, and I was like, you're telling me I could get stuck in a dream world with Cillian Murphy forever?
Awesome.
Wouldn't be the worst thing. I could think of worst outcomes.
Great.
Great.
Okay, let's end the podcast.
Okay, bye.
Bye.